I'm here with Doug Stanton. Okay, so Doug, you built the church from the ground up, and unfortunately, with hearts of people and just why people do what they do, I don't know, but it came against, and there was a division, and you were burnt out, and you basically wanted to get away.
Yeah, I was burnt out, but we'd recovered through the division and all that. We finished the church, we paid the bills, and it was, I'd actually got to where I had an income. I had a new car, I had an office with a nice big desk, and then God said it's time to move. But I didn't know, I thought it was not time to move to go do something else. It was just, I thought I was finished. And so, we left that church, handed it over to our elders, and it was, back then it was probably $1 million complex, and worth a lot more today.
Yeah.
But we just walked away. They wanted to pay me money, and I said, no, I didn't put my life into this to take money out of this. So, there has to be a genuineness, I guess. People say, how did you get to do all the things you do and travel the world and have all the things that I guess we're getting to one day in these series, is that God looks at your heart. And I'm 68 now, and I think God's pleased with me. But not because I'm anything special. He's just pleased with me because I've obeyed him, I think, to the best of my ability, and my wife as well. And what was the question?
Well, no, this is good because you're answering the question. You're talking about, I was talking about coming to America, and you're looking at, as far as just how you thought, I'm not ready to go into ministry. I'm not looking for that. When I came here, I honestly tried to escape people, because when you're burnt out, you don't want to be around people. And a friend of mine tricked me into doing a meeting in upstate New York, in a little place called Cortland, New York. And long story short, despite my desire not to do it, I felt tricked into it. It just exploded. We moved 9 times in about 12 days, and we ended up in a 1,000-seat school auditorium, which in New York you're not supposed to do, separation of church and state, which I found out later. And it was just incredible, and that opened the windows of heaven over our life. And at the end of, we then went to Florida and other places, and in 3 months of my sabbatical, I preached every night, 7 days a week, and sometimes 12 meetings a week from burnout, and I was healed at the end of it. And what I discovered, Scott, was that when God can get you to the center of your calling, when you focus on what God really has called you to do, it brought that healing that nothing else could bring. Because burnout isn't an easy answer. You can't just lay hands on someone and make them better, because something's collapsed inside. It's a terrible place, and people burn out in work and marriage and business and wars, and it's probably something like PTSD or whatever. Yep.
Yeah. And but I not only was healed, I went back, made sure that we closed up all our things, and we came back on a one-way ticket to London, and here we still are, all these years later. But
so 27 years.
27 years. I was 40 when I started the first revival when we came back.
Okay.
In New York, and then Brooklyn Park, and so I'm 68 now, and so that's a pretty good run, 27 to 28 years, and we've had so many revivals. Many of them lasted 6 months, 7 days a week, and many of them kept going, and then we went somewhere else and started again.
So as far as one of the things, I want to get to this on our next episode, because people get in the way of God. They think, well, it's time to move on. We're not ministering to these people. You shared one church I won't mention, but how the pastor said, Doug, we've had 90 days. And you were saying it was getting really good.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, there's a sect over here that really needs something else. Mm. And it's like, no, you're missing the point. What they need is right at the door. And I want to just kind of touch on that.
In the next session or now?
Yeah.